Hey guys, it's Maura, and welcome to part 14 of my walkthrough of Where in Time Is Carmen Sandiego. So this is case 14, which takes place during the Revolution in 1776, and it's the first case that is a piece of American history, so it's for that reason it's one of my favorites, if not my most favorite, along with cases like the Vikings and exploring China. So this is actually during even the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So now I'm just going to go ahead, click my name, and get started.
Your next stop is North America 1776. A key American document should have been signed by now, but it's nowhere inside.
The Declaration, obviously, and sounds like Carmen's crook is behind it. And because it's about politics, who better than take with us than politics as our good guide?
He knows all the political angles and the lines and curves, too. Good luck, and give Ben Franklin my best.
Will do, Chief.
What a blast to the past! We've arrived in the American colonies on the 4th of July, 1776, and that founding father is none other than Thomas Jefferson.
Ah, the misfortune. The Second Continental Congress is assembled and waiting for me, but my final draft of the Declaration has been stolen.
No need to get all wigged out, Mr. Jefferson. We'll help you make your declaration.
Obviously, Carmen's crook is behind it, and the Declaration of Independence is such a key piece in American history that we gotta get this back on track.
Greetings. Forgive my distraction. The Declaration draft I was composing has been purloined, and the Congress is waiting on me. I am Thomas Jefferson, a representative of the colony of Virginia. I've been working on an important document for the American colonies called a Declaration of Independence. Actually, the idea for a declaration was inspired by a 5-man committee, of which I am just a part. But they asked me to do the actual writing. I have a bit of a knack for writing, so Adams and Franklin asked me to write out the Declaration. I've been working on it for 2 solid weeks. The American colonies live under the rule of King George of England, but his unjust rule has overtaxed our patience. We have decided to declare our independence. The king overtaxes the colonies and gives us no say in the matter. This is called taxation without representation, and it is most unjust. Delegates from all 13 American colonies have formed a Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia. They're waiting to sign the final declaration, but I haven't finished writing it yet. A thief stole my first draft of the Declaration of Independence, and I don't have enough parchment for a rewrite. Parchment is the key. If you can find me just a modest scrap, I'll be able to jot my thoughts down again and take them to the Continental Congress. If only I knew. The British taxes and naval blockade have caused a serious shortage in items like glass, lead, and paper. You'll have to keep a sharp eye out for parchment.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, but before I leave, I want to look around.
The dumbwaiter delivers food from the downstairs kitchen right into Jefferson's den. Now that's swell service.
Yeah, it's a little elevator.
Thomas Jefferson was known to fiddle around with a violin. In fact, he was quite good.
In England, men wear powdered wigs in Parliament, and in the colonies, we wear them in Congress. They can make debating a truly hair-raising experience.
I can imagine.
Jefferson was once a farmer and believed that farming was good for the fast-growing colonies. Jefferson had enough ideas to make your head spin. He even invented the spinning swivel chair.
This is where I get most of my work done, when I'm not drafting declarations. Ah, those are the plans for Monticello, my dream home. I dabble in architecture, you know. I love to read. My favorite recent pamphlet is Common Sense by Thomas Paine. It makes quite an argument for colonial independence.
Okay, so I'm going to travel to Philadelphia, and we've got quite a few places to go and lots to explore, and which is another reason why this is one of my most favorite cases. So let's go.
Farewell. Please return if you find any parchment.
We've got to find the parchment. He has to get the declaration written so we can get history back on track.
Oh, we thought you might be Jefferson. Where is that man? We need his declaration draft soon, or the colonies may never gain independence.
All right, this is Benjamin Franklin. Why don't we go ahead and just talk to him for a bit?
Hello,
it's not essential to complete the case, but why not?
Jefferson has not yet arrived with the Declaration. Benjamin Franklin's my name. Inventor, statesman, and clever writer. Ever heard of Poor Richard's Almanac? That's my publication, full of clever proverbs. A proverb is a witty little piece of homey advice. Here's one of my favorites. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Not bad, huh? Well, here's something off the top of my head. The delegate who completes our Declaration Sublime will save the American colonies in the nick of time. The delegates here are waiting for Jefferson to arrive with his draft. Then they need to make the hard decision to sign the Declaration. Not everyone is convinced that separating from England is the best thing to do. John Adams has worked to convince everyone that independence is our best option. But independence does not come without risks. If we lose our war for independence, everyone who put their signature on the Declaration of Independence will lose their heads. We're really sticking our necks out for this.
Oh, well. Okay, let's, just... John Adams
has been a great help. He's convinced many delegates to sign the Declaration. Some delegates are British loyalists who don't want independence. But we'll convince them it's time we colonists stood up for our rights.
Now let's go to New York.
Up there, don't rile my red-coated troops. If you need anything, I'm the bloke in charge. Hey, keep back. We're protecting this lead statue of King George from angry colonists.
On July 9th, 1776, in just a few days, colonial troops will knock over the statue and melt it into musket balls for the war. King George obviously wasn't too popular.
No, really? Obviously, they think of him as a tyrant, the colonists, I mean.
The shops have closed owing to the blockade and shortages. It's all quite taxing.
Well, look at that. King George looks a little footloose.
Hey, no touching the toes. Just like a colonist. We give you an inch and you try to take a foot. G'day. Lying with all this garden has made tea time a distant memory. I can't remember the last time we had a coffee. Truth to tell, I'm a proud servant of my king, but I do feel for the colonists. They've been paying very steep taxes these days. Well, it's my job, you know. Besides, many British think these American colonists are just brewing up trouble about their tea taxes. Well, the colonial Minutemen are scrappier fighters than we expected. My soldiers are better disciplined, of course, but those colonists really want their independence. Why, this is a lead statue of His Honored Majesty King George III. My Marines and I have been assigned to protect his kingship from rebel scavengers. You can look, but you can't touch. My job is to protect this statue. I can't have you making off with anything. Oh, for a cup of tea. When His Majesty taxed the tea, the colonists boycotted the stuff. They've declared coffee their new national drink. Tea is just impossible to find these days. The colonists have stopped drinking tea to protest the tea tax devised by King George. It all started with that Boston Tea Party in 1773. Some tricksters boarded 3 of our merchant ships, dressed as Indians, and tossed every crate of tea into Boston Harbor. Outrageous!
Okay, so if you notice the moving lead foot of the statue, a hand didn't appear, but yes, we are going to need for something. But first we have to get rid of the redcoats to take it.
On your way, then. And keep an eye out for tea.
And we have to get them some tea to do that. How? Well, I'll show you how. Now let's take a moment to talk to this guy, the Minuteman.
Hey there. I'm just taking a minute to write a letter to Mother. I'm a Minuteman. I'm supposed to fight British redcoats, and I'd be off like a shot. But like many Minutemen, I have no ammunition to shoot. Those blasted redcoats took most of our ammunition. Musket balls are made of lead, and lead is heavily taxed by the British, so there isn't much around. Oh, yes, we depend on England for most of our supplies, and we'd be in a bad way without their imported goods. I'm writing a letter to my dear mother on this piece of parchment.
He's got parchment.
I'd rather be off
Can we
fighting,
have
but
it?
without musket balls, a letter is my only pastime. Well, if I'm not fighting, I'm sitting here writing. But you know, if you scavenged up some lead musket balls for me, I'd drop this old letter in a second. Good luck. The lead needed for ammunition is near impossible to find these days. We soldiers scavenge it from pipes, monuments, plates, you name it. That British warship is blockading our harbor. Those Brits are preventing friendly countries like France from sending us fresh supplies. Well, first there was the Boston Tea Party, and now a full revolutionary war is brewing. We colonists will win or die trying. We're outnumbered, but we fight cleverly, Indian style. We don't stand in silly straight lines like those Brits. I just turned 15. You could say I'm just a rebellious youth. Well, not really. But because the colonial army is so outnumbered, any man or boy old enough to aim a musket can join. I plan to write my mother on this parchment, but I don't have any battles to write about yet. Without musket balls, I'll never get my shot at patriotism. This empty tea crate seemed like a good spot to sit down and write my mother. It's a leftover from the Boston Tea Party. I tried to fish, but I've been reeling in nothing but...
Okay, notice that the hand appeared at the fishing pole.
My musket fires balls of lead, but lead is so scarce that we have orders not to shoot the redcoats till we see the whites of their eyes.
In one New Hampshire battle, the Minutemen only had about 15 lead musket balls each. They had to make every shot count.
Oh, I can believe it.
British ships like that one have been blockading the harbor so other countries can't send supplies to us colonists. They're hoping we'll quit demanding independence. No chance.
Wow! The Boston Tea Party was one of the first acts of the Colonial Rebellion. Colonists disguised as Indians snuck aboard British trade ships and dumped all the tea overboard, right into Boston Harbor. Look at all that flotsam and jetsam. Must be stuff still floating around since the Boston Tea Party a while back. That's jetsam, junk thrown over the side of the ship in distress. Looks like the Minuteman has been fishing some up.
Many of the shops are idle from lack of supplies. The furnace of the smithy back there hasn't melted any metal in quite a while.
A hot forge is perfect for melting metals, so they can be bent or poured into new ships.
Okay, that's a clue right there. So, we need to get the parchment from the Minuteman, but we are going to need to get lead musket balls for him. And the way we're going to do that is we have to get tea for the redcoats, take that lead foot, melt it down into musket balls, and give them to the Minutemans. First, we have to start by fishing on the Boston Harbor.
No luck. I think Boston Harbor is all...
Okay, so I wanted to show you that what happens if you try fishing just on the harbor. You have to fish right here on the jetsam, because then Polly will reel in a tea crate.
Hey, we caught a boxfish. Actually, it looks like an old tea crate from the tea party. Cool.
So let's give it to the redcoats so we can get rid of them and take that lead foot.
My men are highly disciplined Marines who never accept bribes.
Okay, can't give it to the redcoat soldiers. You have to give it to the leader here.
Open-minded.
Just want to show you what would happen if you tried it.
Great kings of England, it's honest to goodness tea. If a bit waterlogged. Come on, lads, it's tea time.
And now they're gone, so let's take the lead foot. And looks, their departure also swept up a Carmen note.
Audacious. It's a piece of a Carmen note.
Now the hand appears, and we can take it down in the inventory. Now, I will have to melt it down into musket balls, but first I want to show you what happens if you try to give it to the Minuteman.
Ah, that's a nice chunk of lead.
Just too
but
big.
It's much too big to use as a musket ball.
We're on the musket.
Well, that foot is made out of lead, but it's a bit big to fit in the barrel of my musket. I need smaller musket balls.
So we gotta take it to use it on the fire. Then Polly takes it there, melts it down, and molds it right into musket balls.
Superific idea! Making ammo out of the lead statue. You're a high caliber crime fighter. Bingo! Right idea! But I bet the Minuteman can load his musket faster than we can.
Yeah, I just wanted to have a little fun. So now let's give it to him.
Wow, thanks for the musket balls. Now I have my shot at joining the Continental Army. Long live the American colonies.
And in doing so, he drops the parchment, leaving it free for us to take.
I declare, this parchment looks perfect for an official document.
Yeah, so let's take it back to Jefferson. So now we have to go back to Manhattan, then to Philadelphia, all the way to Charlottesville. Let's give it to Jefferson. Now he can rewrite it.
You deserve volumes of praise. Now I can rewrite crucial parts of the Declaration of Independence. I've written out all the important points, but these paragraphs still need arranging. I'll hurry them over to the Pennsylvania courthouse, where the document can be completed. See you in the city of brotherly love.
And look, his departure also swept up a piece of the C note.
Superific! You found part of the Carmen note. The suspect's schemes are going to pieces. Splendation!
So now let's go catch up with him in Philadelphia.
How good to see you again. You're just in time. Ben Franklin is just now posting my paragraphs up for review and arrangement.
So let's talk to Jefferson again, see what we can do while we're here.
How good to see you here in Philadelphia. Have you come to help assemble the Declaration? These are the delegates who will sign the Declaration, once we get our points arranged and the document fully written out. These delegates are businessmen and leaders representing all 13 colonies. This is no ragtag group of revolutionaries. The founding fathers are educated men. An excellent question. Some delegates are still loyal to Britain and want us to resolve our differences with King George. Personally, I think he's a royal pain.
Good one.
We're getting ready to sign the Declaration of Independence, but first we must put it in a convincing order. Of course, simply match my paragraphs on the left with Ben Franklin's outline on the right. When they all match, I'll write out the Declaration.
All right. So let's click on the easel to do that.
Well, my outline presents our ideas in an organized fashion. It should help us arrange Jefferson's paragraphs into a sensational declaration.
Yes, indeed. So just match up my paragraphs on the left with Franklin's outline on the right. Good luck.
Okay, so first we have to look at the outline, seeing what each point is, and match it up. So that's point 1, date in the Declaration. Okay, and we find, so yeah, we have to look at the points and see which paragraphs of Jefferson's match up with those points. So sometimes relations necessary. Yeah, basically it's another interpretation or summary of what that point is. Okay, so everyone has rights. Okay, yeah, those are list of complaints. No. Went more with unfair behavior. Yeah, answered. So then, right to be independent. We therefore, yeah, I think that's. All right, so now I'm going to back away. If they're correct, Benjamin Franklin will say so.
Well done. Jefferson's paragraphs match our outline perfectly. We have a most convincing declaration on our hands. Well done! You've helped organize this document into a memorable Declaration of Independence. Now, let's get those delegates signing before they lose their nerve. Hmm?
Okay, there's John Hancock's, the most obvious signature on the Declaration. Alright, there we go.
Superific! You reconstructed the Declaration of Independence. Now let's track down our thief.
Okay, and to do that, we have here the final piece of the C note.
Yeah! That's the final fragment of Carmen's note. Fantabulous! I'll activate the time cuffs.
And so, the thief is hiding in a place of service that Jefferson had in his house, and it's right here, this little elevator, the dumbwaiter.
Hey, that's using your noodle. The dummy was waiting in the dumbwaiter.
And our dummy waiting in the dumbwaiter is General Mayhem. Once again, we caught him.
Fantabulous! It's a major accomplishment to catch General Mayhem. Come on, General. You can think about independence.
The pen, dunce.
You can court-martial me, but you'll never put Carmen Sandiego on trial.
Well done. You re-jailed General Mayhem, bartered your way from Virginia to Philly, and redrafted the Declaration of Independence.
I salute you.
Thanks to you, the 13 colonies are on their way to United Stateshood. But don't get too comfy. There's another crime dead ahead in time. Can I put you in charge of the case?
Okay, of course, I'm gonna say no, so I can save that for the next video, but hope you guys enjoyed watching this just as much as I very much enjoyed playing this, and I will see you next time.
You deserve a break after that great work. I'll hold down the fort till you come back.